Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Today's flavor is salted caramel, and we're going to have a high of 72 degrees. Now yesterday it was close to 90, so I hope that's the last of those really hot days, even though it wasn't too bad because it wasn't too humid. So today it's actually drizzling rain off and on. We really needed rain because it was pretty darn dry. So I'm glad I got the planter box moved yesterday, because it would have gotten much heavier if the soil was wet, but it was really dried out, so I figured I might as well just go ahead and move it, and it worked out just fine. So today I'm meeting a friend for breakfast. That'll be nice. And I don't know if I have some errands to run. I think I do. I have to think about that while I have my morning coffee. So I'll be doing some things inside today since it's raining. That's one of the reasons I like a rainy day every now and then. Then I don't feel like I should be working outside in the garden. But I'm hoping next year's garden will be a whole lot easier to maintain, because this year the garden got away from me and I had a whole lot of cleaning up and rearranging to do. So I'm hoping to avoid that next year. I have a big container of cream that I got at Costco. I want to put that down before the landscapers come and mulch everything in the front. And I want to do the same in the back. I haven't done that for a couple years, and boy, I sure notice a big difference when I do and don't use the cream. So, yeah, I have plenty of chores to choose from. Maybe I'll work in the garage a little bit when I get home from breakfast and whatever chores I decide I'm going to do. But I'm not sure yet. I don't have a weekly plan. I just have a big plan and a daily little plan to plug away at my big plans. So I just pick and choose chores as I like. Instead of just, planning ahead for a whole week. Monday I'm doing this, Tuesday I'm doing that. I don't like to do that, because life changes and life happens, and then you get frustrated because you didn't get to your chores. So doing the chores on a daily basis as the day unfolds works much better for me. Alright, a little bit of baking soda in the coffee to cut back on the acidity. So cheers. Very good. So I don't have to cook dinner tonight. I still have plenty of things in the refrigerator that I can eat without cooking a meal. I mean, I may have to do a little stir fry or something like that, but the main components are all cooked up already. So I'm really going to double down on using up my food. I'll still buy fresh produce, and it's my goal to continue just to buy fresh salads as I need them, instead of buying them once a month and trying to preserve them for the whole month. That was getting really old, because then I had to hurry up and use things up that I really didn't want to use up, but I had to. So like I said yesterday, I'm changing my strategy on that a little bit. I'm going to shop for fresh produce a little more often, and then just have a shop for bigger non-perishable things and prepping things once a month. And I think that'll work out just fine, as long as I stick to the plan and don't turn every shopping trip into a big trip. So, okay, well, I will meet you over there at the budget book. All right, back at the budget book. Yesterday I didn't spend any money. I'm doing better this month than I've done actually all summer, because I was gathering things for the garden and gathering things for things that I've been reorganizing and redoing in my house. So I haven't spent actually less money because I have big projects coming up. Well, let me back up. I haven't bought them yet and I haven't fixed them yet. So I have my bathroom in the basement that I have to have fixed. Had a leak, so I had to pay the plumber to fix the leak. That's done, but now I have to get a new vanity and have my wall replaced, so that'll be a couple $1,000, I'm sure. And but on other things I've been trying to save money so that I have some cash to pay for those things that I need to pay for, because I have been dipping into my long-term savings to get all these home repairs done, and I need to replenish some of my savings. So I just thank God I have it, or had it, whatever, so that I could get these things fixed, because they were things that really couldn't wait any longer. So I put it off as long as I can. But sometimes when you do that, then everything hits you at once. That's not why I have all these repairs. It was just timing. But now I have to sort of rob Peter to pay Paul to get them all paid for, because all the repairs are going to be several $1,000s. So I'm hoping once I get all that done that I'll get a little break and things won't start falling apart like my car. My car has just topped 25,000 miles, and it's a 2019 car, so I'm hoping that that will stay together and not start falling apart for a long time yet. But I know the furnace and the air conditioning are going to be coming up at some point, so that'll be a big expense. And yes, I'm still looking for a generator, so yeah, let me know in the comments below what you use, or if you have a good combination of generators, what works for you. My main objective is to run the fridge and the freezer, and everything else is kind of up in the air for grabs. I don't need to run everything at once. I don't need to run my electric stove or my microwave or any of those things in the case of a power outage, even though I do use those things all the time. But I have prepper things in place so to replace that, because hopefully if the power does go out, it won't be, like weeks on end, but could happen. So anyway, you try and plan ahead for the future somewhat. You try and figure out, what if this happens, what if that happens, what am I going to do? And no, it's not the same as living in fear, but it's being proactive with the things that you want to do, because, let's face it, history does repeat itself, and I'm sure back in the day people thought, oh, that's never going to happen, that's never going to happen, and before they knew it, there it was. So I want to at least be prepared to help myself and my family out as best I can in a situation like that, where it's a weather disaster or some other nefarious affair. You know, I mean, look at all the wars that are happening and all the things that are happening to the people. And don't say it could never happen here, because that's kind of like hiding your head in the sand. Hopefully, I pray it never happens here, but, you know, things happen. So prepare yourself a little bit. Don't go into panic mode. Just kind of slowly build things up so that you can at least be safe in your own home if you have to shelter in place. So, okay, I think I have to go pick up some lettuce somewhere today while I'm out. But we'll see. Yesterday I had a really good salad. I had the leftovers from a half and half kind of spring mix, and I had that with some pasta in it and some pepitas. What else did I put in there? Some vegan like goat cheese, and it was delicious. In fact, I had 2 helpings of it. So anyway, I like to keep things like that around. That's good too if you mix it with dressing and stick it on a sandwich. So anyway, all right, I'll be back. Good morning. It's morning coffee time. Cheers. I'm just sitting here thinking about things that I have in my prepper stash. And I just wanted to share some of those things with you, some of you that are just new into getting into prepping. So I'm making a list of things that I keep all the time, and things that I pick up now and then, things I replenish my kitchen and working pantry stock with. So let me just go over some of the things, and then if I'm missing something, leave a comment below and share with us all some things that I might have forgotten that are good for putting in your long-term care stash. Not long-term care, long-term prepper stash. Long-term care is what I worked in for many years as a nurse. So anyway, I wrote these down. So first of all, you know, there's the no-brainer ones. Rice, beans. It's good to have a big stash of those available. They last a long time if you store them correctly. And by storing them, you know, you can put them in Mylar bags. So you can seal those up if you don't want to use it. If you want to use your prepper stash as a working prepper stash, and you plan on replacing things as you use them up, mason jars, the half-gallon ones, are a good choice. And then you can seal them with one of those handheld sealers with the mason jar top. So that's always a good thing to do. So rice, beans, oats. Oats you can use a lot in cooking, in baking. If you don't have flour, you can turn it into flour. So that's a good thing to have. You can bake with it. You can eat it. It's very nutritious. Of course, flour. Don't forget salt, pepper, your basic spices anyway, even if you don't have a lot of other spices. I know my mom always cooked mainly with salt and pepper. So you don't have to have a whole repertoire of spices in your cupboard. But I do like to store extra spices. And even if they're older, I mean, they do lose their potency and their flavor, I still use them. So, and then of course you can always have a little herb garden, and you can dry your own every year. And if you plant enough, it should be enough to get you through the whole year until next year. So flour, salt, sugar, powdered milk, whether that's you know, plant-based powdered milk, or you can buy that. I'm not sure how, I know it's more expensive, but even just buying powdered regular milk, if you eat dairy, having that on hand. I don't use a lot of milk, but every now and then if I make instant mashed potatoes, I like to add milk. So for me, having some powdered milk on hand, I can just whip up the amount of milk that I need for that particular dish, or you can put it in your coffee, whatever. In an emergency, you know, coffee with powdered milk and sugar works fine if that's what you use in your coffee. Having coffee and tea, a nice stash of those. Powdered eggs, that way if you don't have eggs available, you can always use them for baking. You can scramble them. They may not taste as good as fresh eggs, but you know, you can include them for extra protein in a lot of different things, because you want to make sure that you have enough protein available. So you can use the powdered eggs for that. Of course, pasta, whatever you like the best. Now, I like to stock up the most on spaghetti pasta and elbow pasta. I don't really have to have 20 different varieties of pasta. Another thing I like to have are lasagna noodles, because you can use those in a lot of different dishes. Just layer them up, and I use those. I don't cook them first. I use them raw in a pasta dish, and then it saves a lot of time too, so I don't parboil my lasagna. So really those three things are a good thing to keep on hand. If you have other suggestions, leave it in the comments below. I like to also stock powdered peanut butter. It's not as rich as regular peanut butter, but it's good to add again for extra protein, for cooking. You can bake cookies with it. And in a pinch, you can, you know, use it on a sandwich or whatever for peanut butter and jelly. So you can add it to your smoothies, you can add it to your yogurt. So powdered peanut butter is a good thing to have on hand. And I know you can buy that at Costco, because I have some. Having a nice variety of canned goods. Now, I don't buy canned soups at all. I like to buy the canned vegetables, and then in a pinch I use the whole can, liquid and all. I can mix and match whatever kind of soup I want. I can add canned beans to it, pasta I can add to it, rice, whatever. And you can flavor it with bouillon. So having different varieties of bouillon handy. I like the powdered stuff. That way you can have a lot of variety along with your salt and pepper to add to your soups and stews and whatever you want to make. So I like to keep a pork flavored one without real pork in it. A good place to buy those is in your Asian stores. I like the beef flavored. I like the chicken flavored. So if you have those three on hand, you're pretty much good to go for a lot of different dishes. And I think you have to lower your expectations a little bit in as far as flavor goes. But, you know, with the right flavor combinations, you can make a whole lot of dishes. And especially in a grid down situation where you don't have power, It's easy to throw those canned goods into a little pot, make a serving for however many people you need to serve. For me, I would just make a serving for 1 or 2 so that I could have it left over. But you don't want to open and close your refrigerator and freezer too often in a situation like that. So having canned goods on hand is a good idea. So on canned fruits, you know, if you want a little something sweet, you can also combine that with your oatmeal. You can make overnight oats. You can start some fermentation on your countertop if there's a grid down situation, because that stuff doesn't need to be refrigerated. So you can ferment your bread dough, and you can cook your bread in a cast iron pan on top of the stove. I've made pizza like that before. So I was going to get rid of my cast iron pans, but then I got to thinking and I thought, no, that would not be a good idea, because in a grid down situation, your cast iron, if you have to cook over an open fire, it's a good thing to have. So I have a few sizes of the cast iron, so I'm definitely going to keep those. I won't keep them in my kitchen because I don't use them there anymore. They're too heavy. But I will keep them in my garage prepper area. What else? So, having a protein powder available is a good way to add some protein to your dishes. You know, if you're making smoothies, you can, in a grid down situation, you can make some smoothies if you have one of those battery rechargeable little blenders. That way you can start using up some of your freezer food before it goes bad. You can add the peanut butter powder, you can add the protein powder, and that really would almost be a complete meal. You can add the milk powder. You can even add some egg powder to it. If you have greens that you need to get rid of in a grid down situation, you can do that. Add some of the greens to it. And then if you have a little power station, you can always charge up your little handheld rechargeable blender, and you can use up a lot of your refrigerator and freezer food making smoothies, and that will provide a whole meal for you. So those are just some of the things that I keep on hand. I don't have a rechargeable little blender, but I'm going to get one for sure, just for those situations. Having a rechargeable lighter is a good plan. Keep it charged up. Any little appliances that are rechargeable that you can keep handy and keep charged, rechargeable lanterns, rechargeable, like I said, little appliances and things. Those are all handy to have, and especially if you have a power station that you can recharge those things. But I'm looking into that. As you all know, I'm shopping around for some kind of a generator, so I think I don't know yet what I want to do, honestly. I'm just weighing all my options. But those are some of the things that I keep on hand. Having an oil lamp, I have, I think, 4 of those. Making sure you have enough fuel. If you have a butane stove, little burner, make sure you have plenty of that. Propane, making sure you have a lot of propane handy for your inside heaters or your anything you cook with outside. Getting yourself a good CO2 monitor is a good idea. I still have to get one of those, so that if you have all this stuff running in your house on propane, you can get this monitor and see if your CO2 levels are rising. So I still have to get one of those, which I will do, and also having a few fire extinguishers handy, especially in your kitchen when you're cooking with these different small fuel-propelled appliances. So those are some of the things that I have handy or that I want to get yet. And just to be on the safe side, you know, you don't want to be that person that is, you know, sitting there in the dark with nothing to eat, nothing to do, having entertainment available to you. That's important just to keep up morale, whether that's reading or, you know, doing a hobby by your whatever light source you have. I'm going to look too into getting some of the rechargeable light bulbs. I thought I had those in my kitchen lights, but they have not been working that well. I got some at Mark's quite a while back, but they don't seem to come on when the power goes out. So maybe they were just defunct. I don't know. So I have to look on Amazon and see if I can find some more reliable ones, but that's a good thing to have. Even your outdoor solar lights, you know, if they're charged up, you can bring those inside. That's what my mom did when she had a power outage a couple years ago. She brought in her outdoor solar lights, and, you know, she had some lights. So, yeah, please, if you have other things that I haven't mentioned, please leave your comments below with some things that you think are a good idea to have, so that we can all be safe if something happens with the power. And just the fact that our power grids, even though they just spent trillions of dollars on infrastructure, eye roll. They need to put some of that money into the current grids. So, okay, well, I have to get ready now and go have some breakfast with my friend, and go run a couple of errands, and then I will be back in a second. Well, I stopped at Mark's and did a produce haul. They didn't have any of these salads marked down for $1. They usually have those like on Fridays, but I didn't go on Friday. So this was like $3 and some cents. So, and I liked it so much the other day, I thought I would get that again. I got 2 Roma tomatoes. They were $1.29 a pound, but I don't want a lot of tomatoes because I can't eat too many of them. So I got that. I got this classic romaine. I like this on sandwiches rather than getting the other romaine. So I got that, and then I got this Gerard's, again, one of my favorite dressings. That and ranch are my favorites. So I got that. I got 1 onion. Can't remember how much that was a pound, but I didn't want a whole bag, so I just bought 1, and I'll use that for cooking. And then this gold Idaho potatoes. I've never heard of gold Idaho potatoes before, but this whole bag was $1. It's marked down. They had a bunch of them. I was tempted to buy like 2 or 3 bags, but then I'd have to do something with them. I don't want to do that. I'm tired of all the preserving and all that, so I just want enough to eat. So I got that. I got this sesame Asian salad because it has green leaf lettuce, green cabbage, kale, carrots, red cabbage, and green onions. And I have some rice cooked up, so part of that I'm going to eat in a salad, and the other part I'm going to do in a stir fry. Then I bought these mini crunchers. I think those were like $2.50 or $3. I can't remember. The price went up, of course, on those again. And then I did get these 4 peppers for $1. And they're in good shape, and I want to cut these up to make more frozen fajitas. So, and then I can always make like my own Dollar Tree blend where you get the peppers and the onions. So any onion pieces I have left, I'll freeze up too. So that was my haul from Mark's, but I did get a couple things that were not food related. And I spent like $30-some at Mark's, but almost $10 of that was for these other 2 things that I bought. I'm going to put this away and then I'll show you the other things. These were the other 2 things I got. These little containers with bamboo lids and 3 little spoons. This was $4.99. I thought that would be cute for salt or pepper or spices of some sort. But anyway, I like jars with bamboo lids, so I got that. And then I also got these slippers for $3.99. They look really cushy and comfy. So that was about $10 of the $30 that I spent at Mark's. So I also stopped at Drug Mart, and I'll show you what I got there. Here's what I got at Drug Mart. So this iceberg garden lettuce was $1.50, so I picked that up. And yes, I got a lot of lettuce and salads. This is good until September 30th. You have to look at the expiration date because they had a bunch of them that were good until the 28th. So I like these for sandwiches too. And I have wraps that I want to use up. So I want to make quite a few wraps and salads and things. Then I kind of got a little bit of a sweet tooth going today. So I want to have these with a cup of coffee a little later this afternoon. I like the cinnamon mini donuts. I know they're not healthy, but oh well. Then I got fresh mushrooms. They had 3 for $5. I only got 1. And then I got these strawberries. They were $2. And they aren't the reddest looking strawberries, but I have a couple things that I want to use up with that. So that was it. And I spent, I think it was $7 and something at Drug Mart. I had originally gone there wanted to buy some more of the t-shirts that I got over the summer, but they were all gone and all they had was sweatshirts and long sleeve shirts, so that's that. All right, well, that was my haul, and I still have to go to my daughter's and get some eggs. All right. Well, all right, I just got back from my daughter's. She gave me a dozen eggs from her hens. And so that's it for my food haul. And I won't buy any more produce until this produce is all gone. And I spent about $27 altogether. And I got the salads, the potatoes, the peppers, and the strawberries. So I got a little bit of everything. And now I have to eat it up. And so $10 of my haul was for things that weren't food related. So I'm not counting that towards the food. So I think I got quite a bit of food for about $27. So I plan on eating more salads and more wraps, because I have other things that I can eat with that. So that way I can concentrate more on getting things done and not just on always cooking. So I'm happy with that, and we'll see how this works out with just the produce haul. Now I do have things in my Walmart cart that isn't produce, it's more staples. So, but I don't need that yet. And that will be like my big shopping haul. So, anyway, that's all I have for you today, my friends. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share, and thanks for watching.